What is up, everyone? Welcome to another race review stream on F1 Fantasy Pole Position. Hope everyone is doing well. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, and then let me know how everybody did this weekend in Bahrain, because I think a lot of us did pretty well because barring you had Carlos Sainz in your team, it was a pretty healthy weekend for everybody. I am on Twitter watch to make sure that there are no time penalties, but if anyone sees anything before me, let me know. Nixie says change that title immediately. I can't disagree with you, Nixie, but you know, I gotta kind of go with. I did it before the race. 3 hours before the race, I was like, you know what? Hamilton, not sounding good in qualifying, not really having a good weekend overall. Is Lewis Hamilton washed? No, he is not washed. Immediately eating crow. I don't have any crow around. I guess not this week. Crow is not on the menu, but yeah, what a jinx, huh? Like, incredible. So, but yeah, say hi in the chat, say what is up, give the stream a like, let people know what is going on and that we are here talking F1 fantasy after the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let me just do that whole, we are live thing. We are live. Boom. And then we can get into business. F1_T1 says, isn't 11th the worst place for doing? Like, he would not get any point from quality or race and is more likely to lose positions than gain anyway. Yeah, Jack Doohan. I thought Liam Lawson was going to save us there with a 10-second time penalty, but then it sounds like Jack Doohan is going to get his own 5-second time penalty as well, which is going to drop him down to an unfortunate 2 points here. So, not all sad. I was really hoping for that 0.6 million price rise, but it is what it is. It all worked out pretty well. 278 projected points with a -10 because I did take an extra transfer. 2.9 million in budget. Pretty much that is what you'll see everywhere on F1 Fantasy. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Let's see. I think on the game, on the official website, I've got 212 provisional points, 177 provisional points, and then 213 provisional points. But that may change as we're possibly looking at penalties for Antonelli, Verstappen, especially Russell, I believe, with a DRS thing. Antonelli got like a black and white flag track limit warning with like 30 laps to go. So, and then it kind of looked like he went off track at the end there as well. But yeah, as per usual, there is a little bit of controversy in F1 Fantasy because Lewis Hamilton, as if like him getting 4th or 5th isn't bad enough for someone that titled their review stream, Is Lewis Hamilton Washed? Getting driver of the day is just the final knife right in the heart for me. So I apologize to one of the greatest to ever do it, Lewis Hamilton. I guess I jumped the gun on my title there, but I still don't agree with it. Sorry, Mr. Hamilton, but like driver of the day, like Ollie Behrman went from 20th to in the points and scored 21 fantasy points. Like, whatever. I mean, Ollie Behrman has been robbed twice this season now. I think he was robbed probably by Antonelli in China, and then definitely today in Bahrain as well. So Ollie Behrman should have an extra 20 points, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Samir says, I think that's wrong, Samir. Parzival says still predicted like 260 points. Doohan missed 1 point to increase 0.6. Not Hadjar. Check live scoring on F1 Fantasy Tool. Says Keshlin. Yep. As we can see here, if I sort by price rise, Berriman, Ocon, Hadjar are the only B tier assets to go up in price. Or the max up in price in the B tier is on the driver's side. Because if you come over here to the constructor side, everybody went up the max price. 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Even Ferrari, who needed like 65 points, they scored 76 points. Antonelli, I think Mercedes could have been hanging around with them a little bit closer to Ferrari there. I didn't really see what happened to Antonelli. I know he went onto the softs about 4 or 5 laps before the safety car, but yeah, I don't know. Did he just get caught out? Did the safety car kind of screw him because everyone else was able to pit? Is that what happened, I guess? But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any massive headaches from this F1 Fantasy Sunday in Bahrain. There's 130 of us watching, including me, I guess, and 10 likes. So let's get that up a little bit. I'm always shooting for 50% of the likes. So if you can just do me a favor and hit that like button right below my face right now, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to get into some questions now. But first off, Oscar Piastri, what a weekend. Luka dominant on Friday, converted on Saturday, and then despite a ill-timed kind of strange safety car, which I'm not entirely sure if that should have been a safety car or whatever, rather than a VSC, he took it home. He did what he had to do, 45 points in the bag, hunky-dory. Very nice for those of us that went with Oscar Piastri. He continues to be the best. I'm going to say he's the best asset in F1 Fantasy right now. Bang for your buck, point scoring, everything. So you can do no wrong by going with Oscar Piastri as of right now. Bernard says Ferrari did have their best race finish, though, for both Leclerc and Hamilton. No jinx. Samir, you mean do it? Yeah, looks like Russell just got a penalty. Okay, I've been trying to keep up with it on the old ticker talker or Twitter. So let's see. I'm trying to see anything here. You know what, I'll just go on Formula One's Twitter and maybe they'll tell us. So, I mean, they still have, as of 39 minutes ago, they're still saying Piastri, Russell, Norris, 1, 2, 3. So, if anyone has the tweet or something, just direct me that way and I'll throw it up on screen as well. Really, what was Merck actually doing with Anton? I don't know, Luke. It was very strange. I'm running Piastri for the rest of the season, I think. Super consistent. Who got driver of the day, by the way? It would be the cover guy, Lewis Hamilton. Ouch. Hamilton to drive of the day. I think Hamilton. Okay, I want Piastri driver of the day. He's my 2X. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Sometimes they'll give it to the driver when it just goes out and away. I mean, Verstappen should have gotten it last week as well. But sometimes, Behrman would have been a good guy as well. Oh well. It is what it is. Mega race for Haas, though. Just here to claim the points. Yeah. Yes. Well, I had Williams, still a 0.6 rise. Good weekend, provisionally 233 points. Best race so far, yeah, especially from F1 Fantasy standards. Yes. Great weekend, I say. Hi. Template, Mega W, 2 bloody points for Antonelli, says Parzival. I'm going to implode. Oh, yes. Parzival. If you guys missed it on Saturday's deadline stream, we did a sunglasses flip to determine if Parzival was going to play his extra DRS boost. And it went heads up, and he did that. So, sorry, Parzival. I hope you stick around, stay subscribed to the channel. You left it up to the sunglasses gods, but I appreciate you doing it for the content. Oliver, I am on 278 because my team is the same as your T1 team. I did the wild card instead of a negative 20. Exactly. There you go. So yeah, if you used the wild card, you probably saved a bunch of points. And it went pretty well, I would say. Haas were incredible. Behrman, what a talent for the future. Still got 135 from Piastri, though. Not bad at all, Parzival. Let's see. Where else are we? Everyone is in the chat. What is up? Very, very happy to see everybody here. Thank you for joining us. It is a little bit later than we've been used to with the Asian races that we've had so far this season and the Australian race. So it's a little later in the evening. It's 7:55 for me at night. So yeah, that's where we're at. Hello, do you think we should go limitless in Saudi, or do we change Mercedes to Haas/Gasly and maybe Russell or Antonelli and use it in Miami? I'm using the live summary. Good weekend, finally. Augustinas. So what I'm about to show you guys, I wasn't really planning to just this is F1 Fantasy Tools. They're a budget builder, right? And it's great. I love this. I love it a lot. It's great. It's awesome. Those points will update when the game finalizes, and we'll figure out how many points are needed in Saudi for the price changes to happen or whatever. But I've kind of made this little spreadsheet here that I'm hoping to use once Riders Sims come out in the future. When we get the expected points, I'm going to insert that into this Saudi Arabia column you can see here. Maybe I can increase this actually because it's probably quite small on the screen for y'all. Let me know if that's okay. That looks a little bit better. Maybe I can bold. If I just bold it all, maybe that'll help as well. So pretty much what I did was I took the Saudi Arabia predicted points and then like the biggest percentage of what they were going to do for the price increase or decrease. I put in that column there, the Saudi Arabia predicted price column. Then I added Japan and I added Bahrain. I've updated these now with their actual scores from today. So now we're going to figure out what the point scoring for Saudi Arabia will be. But the plan is to use this on deadline streams, final thought streams, that kind of stuff to show us with Riders Sims and the expected points what it will be for actually 2 races from now. So when I was using this right now, it's for Saudi Arabia. But when we get the expected points for Saudi Arabia, this will tell us, hopefully, if I'm doing this right. And I did run it by the F1 Fantasy Tools guys and gals. So they said it all looked good. And I believe like it's not as loosey-goosey math as we're used to in F1 Fantasy pole position, that it's okay, and this is where we're going to be at. So as we can see, this is for Saudi Arabia, so this is like actually just the budget builder tool, but it's way more ugly than the fantastic thing that F1 Fantasy Tools uses. But for future races, it will be used to kind of look ahead 2 races, and that's what I want to do for Saudi Arabia. I wanted to build this tool so that when we get into Miami, we can plug in the Saudi Arabia expected points that Ryder gives us, and then that will tell us what are we looking at in Miami, and that will give us a little bit of a heads up on whether we're going to do Limitless or not. Right now, an hour and a bit after the race, my gut says that I will be playing Limitless in Miami, mostly because those Haas assets are fantastic. They are like, they're going to keep rising. Another bang up performance. Ocon with 18 points, Behrman with 21 points here today. So they're going to rise. They're going to rise this week. They're definitely going to rise next week. As you can see, Behrman, -12, -11 for a poor, like he needs 4 points next week to get a 0.6 rise. Ocon's at 14, which maybe that seems a little bit off, but close enough, I think. Hadjar needs 5 points, that sort of thing. We'll see when F1 Fantasy Tools comes out if this is as close as I thought it was going to be. I hope it is, since I'm live on YouTube and I'm showing it to you guys. I don't want to give you guys any bad info, but I'm pretty sure this is accurate. But Behrman will continue to rise. Like, if he gets another good performance in Saudi Arabia, when we go into Miami, he'll still have this very good Bahrain performance and his 3-race rolling average. So Ocon and Behrman probably should still rise for the next 2 races. So that makes them locks in my team for Saudi Arabia. Probably means they're going to rise in Miami as well. So that's 2 assets locked into price rises in Miami. McLaren and Mercedes, that's another 2 assets. So 4 of the 7 assets pretty much locked into a price rise. Then you've got Piastri. He's not going anywhere. That's another price rise. So 5 of the 7 assets I would be thinking about to take into Miami, I think are going to rise pretty easily. And that makes it a lot easier to activate the Limitless chip. So I think that's where I'm leaning right now. The other assets I would be looking at are Gasly coming off of 17 points. Once that 0 falls off in Japan, from Japan, that should be pretty nice as well. And then another asset could be, like, I'll keep Hadjar, Ocon, Stroll. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably keep Hadjar as well. So if I can get to Gasly, that would be ideal. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there as of right now, but that's where I'm at. So that was a very long-winded way of saying, yes, I am probably going to be playing the Limitless in Miami. I guess it is because it seems it's pretty good chances for Limitless in Saudi. I haven't even thought of that. After my 5-minute spiel, I should have just looked down one message, but oh well. Ferrari on track, Red Bull dream shattered, McLaren versus Ferrari done with season. Let's see. Where are we at? I have some hope for Ferrari in Saudi. Maybe go from Merc to Ferrari. You'd need a pretty big budget jump, I think, there, because Ferrari is going to be sitting at 27.3. Mercedes will be at 23.9. So that is a pretty big jump you'll need there. Let's see here. 45 minutes ago. Okay, no, nothing from F1 yet, but yeah. So glad I didn't jump into the Mercedes McLaren build this week, huh? Interesting. I mean, if you had Ferrari McLaren, then very good job. But I think most of us, I feel pretty good that I went with McLaren Mercedes. Mercedes didn't come away with all of the points that I would have loved for them to do because of that Antonelli kind of snafu there. But overall, it was a pretty good weekend. Still scored the third highest amount of points, outscored Red Bull. Thoughts on Russell potential penalty? Yeah, just a little bit of a damper on Russell's day. So don't mind it at all. But I mean, it is what it is. Not his fault that the DRS, like they were doing. I don't know what was really going on with that car. It sounded like he was having quite a bit of problems towards the end of the race. So yeah, Russell still came second, but he will lose those positions if he gets a grid place penalty or a time penalty or whatever F1 is going to do to him there. But, or not grid play, it'll be a time penalty for Russell. Yeah, that'll drop him down. That will hurt Mercedes a little bit as well. So the template probably won't be as strong as it was looking, especially with Haas scoring 42 points. Like, I guess, so if Russell goes down from 18 points to 12 points, that's 6. He'll lose another 2. So yeah, Haas and Mercedes will come out pretty close this weekend. Michael says, hey, what's up, Michael? Cashling weekend was good. Would be better if Piastri, Mercedes 1, 2, 3. Buzz and Race, decent result as always. Or decent result in fantasy as well. Unbelievably idiotic. Yeah. Russell or Behrman, drive the day, in my opinion. Definitely agree with that. I would say Behrman. How Behrman Ocon doesn't get drive day is a mystery. Behrman deserved drive the day. Piastri deserved drive the day. Get a Chad weekend. Piastri is top contender for the driver championship. I think is number 1 driver in McLaren right now with his stable consistency. It was not a good weekend for Lando Norris. That's true. Even when he was chasing down Charles and even George, he was still making mistakes that cost him extra opportunities to kind of attack the other drivers and get past them faster. I don't think he was ever going to catch Piastri. Piastri pretty much controlled that race from the start, barring the safety car. But yeah, I think Piastri is definitely making a name for himself in that team right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit more conversation about like letting them fight out on track. Maybe last week in Japan where they were like, we don't think it's going to be worth it. Maybe that will happen a little bit more now. McAttack says, Lewis got driver of the day because of team Lewis Hamilton. No other reason goes to show why points for driver of the day is bad for the game. Agreed. Colin says, great decision. Keep Haas for one more week. I did very well on budget with the top 3 B-tier assets rising, but points I could have done better. Antonelli got stuck behind like 4 cars in turn 1 when he came out to pit. Antonelli did stop 3 times at one time while all the rest had 2. No idea what happened. Doing penalty, missing out on max gains. Yeah, ultimate pain from that because I thought he was going to sneak in with 3 points. And he was looking pretty good there. He was like battling Verstappen, but just fell away when he went onto the hard tire there after a second stop. Lots of overtakes that help people's teams. I'm glad Piastri got fastest lap as my 2X. I say nothing about Russell. No penalty for Russell. Wake up, people. Not seeing a penalty for Russell yet. Just a summons for him to appear. Surely Doing can scam a point from somewhere. Yeah, that would be great. Soon time to jump on Ferrari or their drivers. Possibly, maybe Ferrari. If they start to put it together a little bit. If Lando struggles a little bit more, you could be looking at. I mean, Leclerc looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was pretty tempting there. Say we come up on a weekend where it's pretty, because like right now Piastri is going to be 23.4 and Leclerc is going to be 24.7, so that's only 1.4 million difference. Like that's not bad at all. Like if Ferrari looks super strong, I think there's going to be some teams that could just jump from Piastri to Leclerc. Say that happens next week in Saudi if Ferrari looks epic in FP1, FP2, FP3. There could be some managers that want to take a punt and go from Piastri to Leclerc, but keep McLaren in there so they can keep a kind of steady stream of points. Damn, that's some math, says Sammy. Yeah, I think it fried my brain for the rest of the day. That Haas result was optimal today, says Formula Fantasy Hub. What is up, Rob? Thank you for joining the chat. Instead of likely trading out Ocon and Behrman in Saudi, we should be able to carry both through Miami, as you say. Behrman, I reckon, will do well in Saudi. Yeah, he jumped in this Ferrari car last year when Carlos Sainz has a emergency appendectomy, and I think Behrman scored points and got driver of the day and rose a million on the old scoring system. So yeah, I think Behrman would be good. And also it should be a pretty good track for most of the rookies, because I believe the F2 and F3 have competed in Saudi Arabia as well. I mean, that's why Behrman was there last year on the track and he got called up. I think he had to skip F2 because he was racing in F1. I think did he take pole in F2 for the sprint race or something, and then hopped in for FP3 and then qualified 14th and finished 10th or something? I think that is what happened. I think I will swap Russell for Antonelli depending on Saudi free practice, but apart from that, I'm keeping the same for Saudi. I think sounds like a good plan. Augustina's Ferrari locked in for price rise. We doubted and they came back like a phoenix. Pretty good for fantasy. Buffering have 5 million. That's not bad. I was so close to going Ferrari instead of Merc. Gambler's hindsight is strong. Yeah, Casper, I agree. But I mean, they do cost a fair bit more money, so I can't blame you there. I think we need to see Saudi before we can really judge what McLaren will do with Piastri and Norris. I don't think Hamilton is washed. He has to improve his qualifying, specifically in Q3, as he's a much better race driver. Yeah, I think so. Sainz 3-place grid penalty for Saudi as he didn't serve his 10-second time penalty. But with the way that Carlos Sainz is going this season, it's not looking pretty. This guy is probably going to be... So he's going to be 10.7 after this weekend. He'll probably be 10.1. We could be looking at like a 9.5 Carlos Sainz coming out of the other side of Miami as we go into Imola, as we go into the European season. So Sainz is going to be one of the biggest droppers in F1 Fantasy this season as well. Another thing to consider is that Alonso didn't do that well. I was hoping Alonso would score some more points because I was thinking I could bring him in for doing next week. But 4 points this week means he's probably looking at 16 or 17 points next week to get a 0.6 upgrade. So might have to wait off on Fernando Alonso again. Hopefully he can start getting some form in that Aston Martin, because that team scored a couple of points the first two races and it's been pretty miserable the last two races as well. Could Leclerc and Ferrari become options now? Yes. I'm wondering if Leclerc will become an option starting next week in Saudi Arabia if Ferrari looks pretty decent at Jeddah. If we could be considering maybe going from a Piastri, who's going to be 23.4 million, to a Leclerc, who's going to be 24.7. That's only going to be 1.4 million price jump for some people that will be able to kind of maneuver that around. I think I'm at 0.9 million right now. So if I did something like I could go Doohan at 5.6 to Bortoleto, that would give me 2 million. And then I could go Piastri to Leclerc, just off the top of my head right now. I don't think we've got any more, no closer to provisional points. And I think I should warn everybody that with how many overtakes there were in this race in Bahrain, it could take a little bit longer to get our final results in F1 Fantasy. So if you're kind of checking the app constantly throughout the day, I would maybe hold off, especially with time penalties. Sometimes they have problems with telemetry. I mean, George Russell's timing sensor wasn't working, and then they just removed the entire timing tower. I don't understand it. F1, we are smart people. Have Alex Jakes or Crofty or whoever you're listening to in the world be like, hey, George Russell's time, that is wrong. Everything else is accurate. Don't just take away the entire timing tower. It was so frustrating to not be able to see the times. And at one point they took the entire thing away. I think they eventually brought it back, maybe with 10 laps to go, but it was so bad. It's so frustrating how we're going through this with the timing tower. It was really bad race one. I think it got better in Japan, and now it seems like more bugs have entered the machine. So just really frustrating to watch that and then there was some points where we just watched Verstappen overtake someone on track, and then he went below them on the timing sheet. It was all very strange. I got Piastri / Russell, Haas, McLaren. Could this outscore the meta? Great question, M. And I think I have a similar team to that. Yeah, so I have McLaren, Haas, Piastri, Russell. It looks like we're 4 points down on the template in that scenario. So not too bad at all, especially like if this penalty comes through for Russell. Like if he loses a couple of spots, a couple of positions, and then like race points as well. Gasly deserves a shout for driver of the day, just holding off Verstappen. Yeah, he did. That's a great point. Yeah, Gasly had a great weekend. I know he kind of fell during the race, so he cost some people like some positions gained points, but overall 17 points. That's going to put Gasly on the radar when we get on the other side of Miami in Imola. So hopefully he can bag a couple of good results here in Saudi Arabia and Miami, and he'll be a very popular asset coming out of the other side. Sebastiano says Behrman placed 7th. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Nixie says, what do you think will be the team in Saudi now? I think it'll be, for me, it'll probably be McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Behrman, Ocon, Hadjar, Bortoleto, maybe, just depending on what we hear about doing, because he qualified quite well, but he went down. I'm just wondering if Alpine is going to like use that as an excuse to put him a little bit more under pressure. Like we do need to think, I think if doing it finishing the points, we could realistically expect him to get through Miami. I just don't know if that's going to happen anymore. With Franco Colapinto being the Alpine reserve driver, with it being in Miami, so close to South America, Argentina, where Franco Colapinto is from, it wouldn't be surprising with a 2-week gap from Saudi Arabia to Miami that Alpine uses that as an excuse, says, you had 5 races, too bad, so sad, we're going to bring in Franco Colapinto. They have 2 weeks to build up the hype for Colapinto. He gets 2 weeks in the car, in the simulator, all that stuff. And then there's another 2-week gap after Miami before Imola to kind of get Colapinto fully settled into the team. So I'm pretty on the fence about what will happen to Jack Doohan, but it is maybe time that we start thinking about a contingency plan if we're going to keep him in our F1 fantasy lineups heading into Saudi Arabia and then also Miami. But yeah, Doohan could be the one to go. But I think next week may be a week to roll, but I also said if Leclerc looks good, if Ferrari looks good in Jeddah, Piastri to Leclerc, Doohan to Bortoleto, don't mind that at all. But that would be a team that you're taking into Miami as a budget building option. And it does just feel a little bit better to keep Piastri as your kind of steady Eddie grower through the limitless chip in Miami, if that is the route you're going to go down. King D says, Mercedes pitted Antonelli horribly today. He was stuck to the DRS chain halfway through the race, but the first stop allowed him to get undercutted by everyone. Yeah, I think I saw that part where he came out into traffic, and then they pitted him again right before the safety car, so I guess it was just bad timing. What was your team this weekend? My team this weekend was this top team right here. McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Behrman, Ocon, Hadjar, Doohan. So not too bad at all. What do you think about Mercedes, Ferrari, Russell? I don't know. A little tough. I mean, Russell has been on it. I think Russell, if Mercedes could give him like a slightly better car, I mean, it's still a good car this year. I think it's beating expectations of what we thought for Mercedes heading into the 2025 season. But if Russell had a better car, if he was maybe he was in the McLaren, he would obviously be competing for wins. I think he's driving that well that he could easily go head to head with Piastri and Norris. I think we saw that even today. He held off Norris. But I kind of like him as an option. He'd probably be like, if we could get to a Piastri Russell kind of build with stronger constructors, but he would be a target for me like in a colder race if Mercedes still has that 2024 narrative, which I don't think they do, considering that Russell just finished second in a very hot race in Bahrain, but that could be a spicy extra DRS differential option heading into the later part of the season. Street circuit favors Ferrari momentum. Ferrari needs negative 33 for a 0.3 increase. Does that mean that the budget builder is updated? Let's see. Okay, it's not fully updated yet. Mr. Iceman says, final fix worked. Antonelli to Piastri worked like a charm, but heartbroken to lose 0.4 in Ollie by going for the fraud to Doohan. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough, Mr. Iceman. I'm looking at Doohan / Mercedes to Bordeaux / Ferrari for Saudi Arabia. Oh, so you got some major money in the bank there, Paper Cranes, because, like, yeah, we've been over this a few times, but yeah, that's about, what is that? That's a 3.4 difference. So you must have some money in the bank. Do you think I should keep Haas or switch to Mercedes as second team? I would have enough budget. I don't know. I think Haas are going to be guaranteed to continue rising. So if you are like kind of hell-bent on the budget building way so far and just keep doing that, especially like through Miami and stuff like that, like Haas are fine hold for Miami, because they're probably going to keep going up. And again, like they've got 10 points from Japan. They've got 42 points from here. So, I mean, they're going to need some serious DNFs to come anywhere near a price drop in the future. So I don't really mind Haas, but yeah, I think Mercedes will, I mean, they'll score more points. Can't count on 42 points from Haas every weekend. But yeah, they are looking a little bit better for sure, especially in race trim. Haas is looking really good. Red Bull also had problems with their pit stop light and not switched to grid. Yeah, I saw that too, Colin. That was pretty frustrating if you're Max Verstappen, Yuki Tsunoda. Poor Lawson got like 3 penalties and 15-second penalty for 2 collisions, 10-second penalty for Lawson. Behrman deserved driver of the day hands down. Lando is a shout too for probably going from 6th to 2nd, but yeah, the outcomes have been a joke in that department. Feel bad for Bortoletto. Good day, sir. Sorry I keep missing the live stream. No problem, Fraser. Happy to have you here. Glad to have you here. And how did the team come out after Limitless? Sammy says, not F1 related, but Newcastle are so good. I love my team. Good FPL too. I'm not actually sure what the final score was there, Sammy. I saw they were up 3-1 after a Harvey Barnes brace, so not too bad at all. Croco Font 35 says, is it better for me to move from Yuki to Bortoletto or Yuki to Gasly if I think about Limitless in Miami? My team now is Piastri, Tsunoda, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar with McLaren and Haas. It's not looking amazing for Tsunoda as of right now. I mean, it's still only a second race in Red Bull. He's done better than Lawson has done. He scored points today it was the first time since Vegas that the second Red Bull seat had scored points, which is absurd. Yeah, but I think next week, maybe going to, Yuki to Bortoletto, that's going to save you a lot of money. Like, you're going to save 11 million. I guess it's going to be like, where else do you put it right now? So, yeah, not too bad at all. But, yeah, I get Yuki to Bortoletto seems a little extreme, but I can see you're going there. I mean, you could go, is there a world where you can go McLaren to Ferrari and Tsunoda to Antonelli? Maybe balance out the team a little bit more there and keep Haas as your budget building? Don't mind that at all. Nixie713, I think I might just doing the Bortoletto so I don't have to lose value and have 3 free transfers from Miami. Early thoughts at least, but let's see. Yeah, I think that's definitely a route I'm going to be considering as well, Nixie. Just like doing to Bortoletto, roll that transfer, and then if something crazy happens in Saudi Arabia where I don't want to activate Limitless in Miami, I have the 3 free transfers. We won't have those coming out of the other side. Like if we activated Limitless, we wouldn't have 3 free transfers on the other side. So that might be a case where it's like, if you're not fully committed to the Limitless in Miami yet, it is an option that you can still have the 3 free transfers and make a pretty flexible squad to still have a good weekend in Miami as well. Fraser says, assuming Russell doesn't get a late penalty, I scored 272 points and a 3.3 million increase, so 109.7 million total budget. Yeah, I think I'll be up at 106.3, so I'm trailing you pretty bad in that department, Fraser. Bearded Beast. I actually pulled off Piastri, Doohan, Hadjar, Behrman, Ocon, and McLaren Haas with 14.1 million in the bank. Sometimes it's better to be, I mean, I'm not going to like put you on blast, Bearded Beast, but yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I don't think any of us were expecting 42 points from Haas. As you can see here, 13 expected points from F1 Fantasy Tools, but not too bad. Not too bad. But I'm glad it went well for you. I had enough budget to go Bortoleto/Ferrari this week, but didn't think Ferrari would do so well. I don't think Ferrari thought they would do so well either after FP3. I don't think there was any great vibes coming out of the team. I mean, Lewis said that the car was doing well, but he wasn't doing well. So then, like, you got to trust the driver a little bit to kind of get those points done, and it just didn't work out. That's why I have this very unfortunate title for today's video. Like, you know, you lock it in, you make the thumbnail, you post it up there, you're like, okay, like, I got to take a guess. And the guess was awful. So is Hamilton washed? I would say no. Can't say someone's washed after a top 5 finish. May I ask why you want to do Limitless in Miami? Why not wait till later in the year? So, great question, King D. Limitless is such a powerful chip, and it gives you like a huge advantage over the field when you play it earlier in the year, because there's absolutely no chance that anyone can afford anywhere close to that team. But the longer you wait into the season to play Limitless, there are teams like Fraser right here. He has 109.7 million already. So if we're waiting until like Austin or Qatar or Brazil, like a sprint weekend to play the Limitless, there are going to be teams that can probably afford like Leclerc, Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Mercedes for one of those weekends, let's say. And then like those could be the 5 of the 7 assets you want. And then the Limitless chip becomes a lot weaker because you're just kind of playing it where teams can almost already afford a lot of your squad. So it doesn't give you as much of a difference in the points total. So the earlier you play it, the more likely you are to have a bigger points total on the rest of the field for the season. Hopefully that answers the question. What's the point of having the pit release lights being done by a computer? Much better manually by a pit crew. I guess it's just like split second difference. But yeah, when the automated technology doesn't work, it is not great. McLaren/Ferrari, Casper, Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Bordeaux was 106 before the race. So I think some could afford it for Saudi, including me. That's pretty nice. Yeah. 106 million. Yeah. So I was 1.6 million short. But yeah, that must have been a great team, Casper. Hope that went well. Let's see here. Where are we at? Fraser. Ella was in Japan. Went very, yes, sorry. I think I misspoke there. Fraser. But yes, I know Limitless went very well for you. Pretty well for you. F1 Fantasy provisional points is a hoax, right? Because it doesn't include overtakes. Yeah, exactly. The provisional points right now, they're just kind of working through all the kinks. They're getting overtakes. They're getting pit stop points. They're waiting for all the penalties to come in and finalize and stuff like that. Is Limitless Miami or Spa? Not sure. Yeah, I can't really say I'm locked into either one of those right now. But the longer you wait, like I was just saying about King D's question, the less of a differential you have over the rest of the field. Yeah, luck was a big factor, of course. I mean, it always is. Hulk DSQ incoming, maybe because of skidware. Hulk DSQ on the way. Okay. Maybe get that 0.6 increase then. Oh. F1 Fantasy saying Hulkenberg for leaving the track. Hulk DSQs now. Wait, I didn't read car 7, not 27. Template didn't go as well as thought, especially now that I'm seeing penalties might be hitting the team. No, Hulkenberg finished behind Doohan. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just forgot. Wait, well, no, because if Doohan, yeah, no, Hulkenberg 13th, he'll get DSQ'd right here. We're looking at it. Doohan goes up to 14th. Boom, we got our 0.6 increase. So there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Doohan got hit with 5 seconds time limit for leaving the track, but Hulkenberg DSQ will help. So Doohan will go up. So I'll be up at 3.1 million budget increase, and everyone else, or no, 3.3 million. And so will everyone else that went Jack Doohan. So good job by us. I'm aiming for 3 McLaren Mercedes for Spa. I have to run my algorithm, but now probably only need to average about 2.6 per race, says Fraser. I will sacrifice points for budget if it's close. Look, oh, boom, yeah, okay. There we go, 0.6 million in the bank. We are all very, very fired up. about the 0.6 million, I'm going to go over here to Formula One, to the Twitters of the Formula Ones. I mean, F1's Twitter is literally touting Ollie Behrman's 10 positions gained. And it's like, come on now. Come on, give us that. So, oh, someone is tagging me. Oh, so Jack Doohan, 5-second time penalty. It's official. Okay, so I see that. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. What else? Yeah, there's telemetry problems. So, yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and see. So, like I said, these provisional results that we're looking at here, it might take a little bit of time for these to finalize. Like, hopefully by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, but we will see. We will see how all that goes. And just a little bit of a scheduling heads up. I am possibly stupidly going to stay up and watch the Masters tonight to get my heart broken by Rory McIlroy for about the umpteenth time. And then I will be very tired tomorrow, so I probably won't have team selection video out until Tuesday, but then there'll be a Q&A stream on Wednesday still, and then there'll be another video on Thursday, plus the deadline live stream and the live stream next week. So if you guys can wait one extra day for the team selection video, I will put another video out on Thursday as well, which is going to be based around future planning, like kind of that spreadsheet that I showed you right there. That is what I will be kind of talking about as we kind of look ahead at Saudi Arabia, what we're going to do in Miami, that sort of stuff as well. So 2 pre-recorded videos and then 3 live streams next week. So if you can wait one day for that, that'd be great. But you won't have to miss any of those episodes if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost at 2650. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, you want to just hit that subscribe button. That would help me out a lot as well. I see a lot of you are hitting the like button on the stream, which I really appreciate. We've got 180 people are watching, but only 45 likes. And the 50% rule still applies. Even though there's more people watching, still got to get that like total up. So we really appreciate it. You don't even have to subscribe, but you can hit the like button. That would help me out a lot because we still got about 18 minutes to go here in the live stream. Race review, kind of where I said, is Lewis Hamilton washed? And it's clearly not. Just what an incredible drink. So you are welcome, Ferrari fans. Hopefully that helps you out there a little bit. With please don't punish George. I think they're going to. Cashin says, if only Antonelli had a good race, our template would have been goated. I know. Would have been like chef's kiss, but Mercedes decided to have one of their more rough races of the season, I would say. So not all that bad. But to going forward, I still believe in Mercedes as well. I will have 109.4 budget or 109.4. That sounds tasty. It sure does. That sounds very good. I guess I'll be up at like 106.5 or something, which I would think is good too, but not as good as that. 109.5. People are already 3 million ahead of me. I am a little bit worried, not going to lie. King D says, I'm not sure if Russell will get penalized because post-race he said he lifted afterwards and it was only open for a second. Michael says, let's go, Rory, taking it home. Yeah, I wouldn't be sad if Bryson won it, but I just want Rory to get there. Rory needs to get this mental block off his back because I think he can win a couple more majors, maybe a handful more majors if he can get past this final hump of the career slam. So I really hope he does it tonight, because if I have to stay up until 1:30 and watch Rory McIlroy lose another major, I'm going to be not a happy chappy tomorrow morning at work. But yes, all right, 16 minutes to go. Thank you to those 2 or 3 people that just subscribed. Really appreciate it. Up to 66 likes now. We're getting pretty close to that 50% mark, everybody. So if you got any questions ahead of Saudi Arabia, Limitless, why did this team do that? Why did my driver only score this many points? What am I doing watching an F1 fantasy race review stream at whatever time in the world it is with you? And it's all because hopefully you are enjoying the channel. And I always appreciate the support that you guys are giving. And I love interacting with y'all on X, TikTok. I'm trying to do more stuff on Blue Sky if there's anyone over there, as I know X is not the most popular platform in the world right now. But that is where I do a lot of my blabbering on, and that's where most of my thoughts come out. Michael Hunt says, I'm delusional. Yes, so am I. Let's see here. Francis Lalande says, Alonso viable next weekend. I don't think so, Francis. I was hoping so going into this weekend that like a Doohan to Alonso would be a really easy move for me. But unless Aston Martin just comes out of nowhere and shows us something, it looks like Alonso's going to need at least 10 points to go up. And if they look okay, I still might take that risk because Doohan's going to be 6 million. So actually, if I can change this to 6, so Doohan's going to need another 7 points to score. So he's probably going to have scored 3 points. Is that right? So I'll have to. This is kind of always updating stuff like that, but it's going to be tough for Doohan to go up again. Alonso could get there. The car doesn't look great at all, but yeah, that is kind of where we're at with that. So I think Doohan to Bortoleto could be an okay option. That's where we're at. Sparrow says, where's everyone getting the updated penalty info? Can't find on F1 website. Usually if you follow some of the F1 journalists on your preferred social media platform, Sparrow, you'll be able to get that stuff. Rob just retweeted FIA F1 document spot, which is at FIA doc spot on X. You can do that. Let's see here. What else have we got? I don't really see anything else. Usually like Chris Medland or Luke Smith is really ahead of the game when it comes to those penalties. They're like pretty much just hanging right outside the steward's office. Yeah, Chris Medland. There we go. Thank you, Michael. Is Ocon worth keeping? Yes, he is. As you can see here, he's probably only going to need like 6 points to get a price rise. And that 18 will carry quite well into Miami, especially if he gets like 8 points in Saudi Arabia. Like if we put this in here, if we put 8 points in for Saudi Arabia, he'll need 6 points to continue rising in Miami. So that's where we're at with that. Like we could like predict some points here as well. Like let's say Gasly scores 10 points. Oh, maybe that's not working properly. Sorry. These do not seem to be updating. So my bad on that. I will change that for team selection or the Q&A live stream on Wednesday. Damn, budget building looks difficult in Saudi. Yeah, I think it will be. Just keep both Haas drivers. Looks good to me. Yeah, I think I'm going to be keeping Ocon and Behrman for the next 2 weeks at least. Saudi Arabia and Miami after this massive performance here in Bahrain. In Bahrain. I don't think we need to go anywhere with those two in F1 Fantasy, at least for a little bit. Let's see. What else have we got? Behrman worth keeping. Yep, Behrman's worth keeping. Behrman, Ocon, Hadjar, Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes. Like I've got 6 of those assets. I've got all 6 of those in my team. I don't really see them going anywhere. So yeah, I think the move may be just to like take my money that I made off of Doohan and run and go down to Bortoleto for 1.5 and then just see where we're at after that, because getting Bortoleto in for Miami could be kind of nice because then he can't lose you any money, and then you're not really worried about having a Jack Doohan problem on the other side of Miami if a Franco Colapinto comes in or something like that. Nixie backing me up here. Behrman looks good in Saudi for budget, 100% keep. Right in the Haas train. Yeah, I think we're all going to be riding the Haas train, especially double Haas. I know a lot of us have, we moved away from the Haas guy or the constructor this week, or when we were moving to the template, we moved away from Haas, but I think those of us that kind of stuck with them in our T2 teams, like here, like I have them in this T3 team over here, I'll definitely be sticking with these guys. I mean, I might even like bring down, like, who could I go here? Like, yeah, I don't know what I'll do, but yeah, I guess I almost wish I'd kept Ocon in instead of Russell at this point, but it is what it is. But yeah, I could easily go down to Bortoleto on both of these teams, but yeah. Initial thoughts, I'll probably post these on X and Blue Sky and YouTube. And if you guys don't do X or you don't do Blue Sky or whatever, or TikTok, I actually post a lot of my stuff from those sites on YouTube, just in the posts channel. So make sure that you're checking that out as well. That's usually where I put my like scheduled posts and stuff like that. I usually make sure to post them all there as well. So make sure you're checking that out while you are perusing the YouTube channel. We are three subscribers away from 2650. So if you want to do, anyone is watching and you want to do that in the last 10 minutes of the stream, that would be incredible. Would be very, very appreciative of that. Yeah. Oh, look at that. No, it should be live. I don't know why I'm not live. I don't know if I'm live on X. I thought I was going to be live on X, but maybe I'm not. Sammy says, in my league, I'm about 200-ish points behind, but a better budget than all of them. Is that a good balance? Yes, that's fine. You'll be able to make that up with a budget increase for sure, I believe. So that is not bad at all. Today is the 13th, right? I'm not going crazy. Okay. I thought I'd try to schedule it on X, so I'm sorry if I said I was going to be there, but I guess I am not. Feels like Doohan has a big DNF risk in Saudi too. Yeah, but he's like, I mean, he had his best race performance. This would be his best race of the season, I would say, with and he's had a history at this track. So I guess I'd have to go back and look at Jack Doohan's race history, which I guess I could do. Jack Doohan race history. I guess it'll probably just be Wikipedia, but we can see if he's raced at Saudi before. Where are we going? So let's see here. In Formula 3, Spa. Formula 2, he's raced in Jeddah twice. You know what? I can just bring this over and we can look at this all together as a happy YouTube family. I think that's what we'd say. So here's Jack Doohan and his F2 record in Jeddah. Retired in the sprint in 2022, finished 9th in the featured race. And then the following year in 2023, he was 7th, and then he finished 2nd in the featured race. So not too bad at all. I mean, look at these results from Bahrain as well. Like, he did okay in Bahrain in 2022, did all right in 2023, not really during the featured race. But in Jeddah, he's had a little bit more success. So maybe we could feel confident in Doohan heading into this weekend as well. I got 3x on Piastri, 2x on Russell, Hadjar, Barron, Ocon, McLaren, and VCAR provisional points 287, says Marion. I hope Russell doesn't get a penalty then, Marion, because that would be a little, it'd be kind of bad. Sammy, coming in right after the commentator says something, or right before the commentator says something. I love it. Yeah, he did pretty well in F2 and F3. Actually, I didn't see his results in F3 here, but are one of these F3s in Jeddah, and I just don't know what it's labeled as. Oh well. Hector says, why not use Limitless now in Saudi Arabia? Many will point to this week's template, and Miami increases the danger of DNF, but it is a street circuit. It could make a big difference, especially with Ferrari. I don't hate it, Hector. I guess we'd have to see what's going on in practice, but yeah, I mean, with the team I have right now, I could easily Limitless, and just keep those budget gains and then just come out of Miami and I'd have 2 free transfers to fix some problems. But that's an interesting thought. I'm going to kind of put that down in Thursday's episode for the future planning video that I'm trying to do. So I appreciate you reaching out and doing that suggestion. Aurelia says, why Bortoleto? Because he's 4.5 million, Aurelia, and he can't cost us budget. So it might be like a kind of nice back marker to have. It's like while you're going into Miami, Limitless, you don't gain budget with your Limitless squad. You gain budget with your original squad that you'll lock in Saudi Arabia. So having Bortoleto there as kind of a back marker, place marker, paperweight, whatever you want to call it, to just steady the ship and not drop in value might be kind of nice. Not F3, lol. I'm 60 points clear in my mini league and at least 3 million more budget than the rest. Feeling really good. You should be feeling really good, Paper Cranes. That is fantastic. That is a great start to the F1 fantasy season for you. But we are going to be, like I said, so probably team selection on Tuesday. And then, it didn't. Okay, never mind. Team selection on Tuesday, live stream on Wednesday, future planning video on Thursday, deadline stream Saturday, and then race review stream on Sunday. This time next week, we'll be going live again. It'll probably be exactly right now is when I'll go live, because I try to go live about 1 hour after the Grand Prix, get my thoughts together, and then talk to y'all for a whole hour, which I've been doing right now for 56 minutes, and it's been awesome. So thank you. We are 1 subscriber away from 2650. You want to make me a very happy chappy going to watch the Masters for the rest of the evening. I would love to get to that nice, weirdly even number in my head. But y'all have been great. You've been liking the channel or liking the video. You've been subscribing. It's been great. Really appreciate it. Calling him a paperweight is wild. Love it. Yeah, maybe that was mean. Do you expect Russell to get a penalty? We'll see. I really can't say, but we'd be silly to just think that it's all over so far for F1 Fantasy. Just only 2 hours after the Grand Prix. Oh, could you imagine if the FIA could do something faster than 2 hours after the Grand Prix? That would be fantastic. Boom. 2651. Thank you to those latest 2 subscribers to the channel. Really appreciate that. F1 Fantasy says that Hadjar decreased by 0.5 million. Why? He decreased by 0.5 million last week, Zamani. So when you do, when it says that, that's from last week. He actually can't go down anymore because he's 4.5 million. It's highly likely that he's going to go up 0.6 million. I would almost guarantee it. Russell penalty depends on what fantasy team the FIA steward has. Yeah, maybe he has Antonelli and he's like, needed like a 30-second penalty. But if the telemetry shows that Russell opened it, lifted to negate it, and then went back and then had it shut again, they may be lenient on him. They may not punish him, because that's what happened last year in Qatar when Lando got the 10-second stop and go penalty in Qatar when he didn't lift on a safety car. So they looked at the telemetry and they saw that Lando didn't lift and coast even a little bit. So that's why they gave him the penalty. But if Russell can prove that he did lift, he realized he made a mistake, he lifted, there was no advantage gained, and then he went on with his day, then maybe he will get away with it. And that could be kind of nice for us that have the Mercedes constructor in our squad. As you can see, it is a little 8:45 at night. But yes, we are over the 50% like mark. We are past the 2650 subscribers on the channel. So it has been a very productive evening for me in the boosting the channel department. And I hope you guys have had fun listening to me break it all down. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. Hopefully you guys have a good week. We've got one more race in the first triple header of the season. It's been a great 2 weeks of content. So really like it. And really enjoying interacting with everyone in the community. I'm up to like 3 live streams a week, and I'm not even sick of it. Not even close. I love getting to know you guys, getting to know your teams, getting to know where you're from, all that stuff. So really appreciate you guys hopping into all these live streams day after day. Hopefully I am not, you're not getting bored of me yet. So I appreciate that as well. They couldn't even manage to catch a track time to be delayed 4 or 5 minutes after Q2. I agree, Banads. I agree. W stream. Thanks, you. And yeah, thanks, Michael. Appreciate everybody coming out. I was going to try and make it all the way to 8:45 to do the whole hour. So I will do that. I will get across the finish line. just unlike Carlos Sainz. What a rough start to the year for the Williams driver. It was even looking pretty good this weekend. But yeah, I went template in my T1 team this weekend. It went pretty well. We'll see what happens with this Russell stuff. But as I am looking at it right now, let me go back to F1 one more time. I don't see any penalties coming through. I don't see anything else coming over here. Yeah, so as of right now, because yeah, it's all looking good. But that is the hour. Hopefully you guys have had a great time. Yeah. Thanks, mate. Thanks for everything. Of course. Happy to be here. Happy to break it all down with y'all. But I will be back on Tuesday with team selection thoughts. I hope Rory McIlroy pulls it off and wins the Masters tonight so that I can be a happy chappy at work tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good week. Hopefully you guys tune in for the team selection, the live streams, all that fun stuff, and the special edition future planning episode that is coming out on Thursday. But hope you guys did well in Bahrain. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for supporting the channel as always. And once again, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you next time.